It's Morphin Time! Go, go, Power Rangers! Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are. Welcome to our review of the 30th anniversary spectacular that was Power Rangers Once and Always. Joining me is Cheeto. How you doing?
I'm on the nostalgia train, baby. On the nostalgia train.
And on that nostalgia train, while you're on there, why don't you tell us overall? Now, this is the spoilers. There will be spoilers in these reviews, just to let you know. What did you think overall of the 30th anniversary special?
It was fun. I mean, I'm not gonna poo poo on it. I mean, obviously the original Power Rangers was very like campy and ham fisty, and like so. I thought it was fun. I mean, I'm fresh off it. I just watched it. Just full disclosure. So I haven't had a chance to kind of sit with it. But you, I think, watched it earlier today,
I
or
did, yes.
so you've had a little bit to sit with it. So you might have, but it was fun. It was nice to see. A not butchered CGI Power Rangers stuff. I mean,
Indeed.
I, like the CGI in it. It didn't seem like they tried super hard, which I think is good.
It looked like it was definitely deliberate.
Yeah, like I really feel like they didn't try too hard on purpose. I didn't mean that negatively. Like how, like when you can tell they're trying way too hard to look like super like CGI awesome. But like this is a product from the 90s where there's a dude in like a cardboard suit that's like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I loved it. I thought it was just a fantastic nostalgia run. It didn't try to be anything more than what I thought it was, a wonderful anniversary show, in that it was just like, you know what? This is what made the original fun and silly and cheesy, and we're just going to do that. And we're going to give you what you had in the 90s, and we're not going to give you anything extra special because it will take away from it. And I thought everything that was done in here was deliberate to keep it within its within the ethos of what made the show great. And I absolutely loved it for what it was. If it was trying to take itself serious, if it was trying to be something
Like another Power
amazing,
Rangers movie that we had in the recent
yeah,
history.
yeah, it just would not have gone down well at all. But this, for what it is, I think it was the right move to do, because it'll get talked about, it will stay with people as just a wonderful trip down memory lane. Um,
It was nice to
so
actually see the putties like disintegrate. Like like they didn't. I did. They didn't. They kind of just disappeared, didn't they? Like they kind of like flashed away or something like
I
that in
think
the
they,
original.
yeah, I think they just kind of either flashed away or blew up away or something like that. In the original, they just kind of. But here we saw them disintegrate. So yeah, that was nice. And again, the CGI with that was not great. It was very like as basic as you can get, to just kind
Hmm.
of so that it sucks, because of course they could have made it way better than what it was. But yeah, I mean, we'll get into it. I'm not going to do like a massive play by play, but obviously Billy tries to summon Zordon, and in doing so, it activates a kind of negative
Robo
energy
Rita.
thing. Yeah, that brings back Rita Repulsa instead. Our queen returns. The voice actress returns for that, and it was fantastic to see. Obviously, they skirted around the Japanese actress thing by just just putting her in a robot suit. And her plot is obviously to go back in time and merge with Rita Repulsa of the past or something like that. I think that's
I
what the
think
version.
just really she was trying to go back and just tell her the future knowledge and
Yeah,
like
that was it. Yeah, yeah, go back and warn her
basically Back
younger
to the
self.
Future in it,
Yeah,
giving her
and
future
so
knowledge.
her and Billy kind of, they have a fight at the beginning of the show, and while Billy's getting his ass kicked, the other Power Rangers come in. Of course, they're all in their suits. You're not seeing their faces for a reason. And of course, we get Yellow Ranger gets killed off, which I thought was really good. I thought it was a really good, because it gives you a nice kind of plot moving forward. It brings in the daughter, so it gives you like the new Yellow Ranger. And I thought it paid great respects to the tragedy of the actress that did pass away because of a car accident. And I know it's like killing her off again kind of thing, but I think it's just done in a kind of a great way. It does pay respects, and it because it puts the focus on her in the way of her daughter. So it's not just like with the other Rangers where they're just kind of forgotten about. This one is, we are focusing on like the Yellow Ranger's legacy, and I thought it was really sweet that they did that. The daughter they brought in, her choreography skills were pretty damn solid considering her age.
This isn't
Yeah.
the actual actress Trini's daughter, right? Or the actress who played Trini. I don't think so, right? Like I
No, 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 no. She was
okay.
way too young when she passed away. She was only in her 20s.
Okay, that well, I mean she could have had a kid, like maybe, she was a baby, but
I mean, she could have, but the kid would have been near its 30s.
yeah, by this
You know?
point, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
this girl that played her, unrelated, but I thought she did a fine job.
Yeah.
Again, we're not going to be winning acting awards in this. I mean, Billy throughout the whole thing looked bored out of his fucking head
I don't
doing it.
yeah, I mean they definitely were almost reading like they were almost reading from cue cards almost, I felt
Yeah,
like. Like
almost. Billy definitely was. I think Zach definitely made more of an effort.
but
Um,
and even that, like you can tell their acting chop. I don't know if these guys have done anything since Power Rangers, but their acting chops are obviously really, really rusty.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was just good old cheesy fucking uh soap opera kind of acting. And yeah, we get Zach comes back as well, so that was great to see old Zach returning. For those of you, a little bit of a trip down history lane. So Billy originally left the show because of rampant homophobia and bullying by the producers of the show, which was disgusting. So that's why he left. They did all apologize afterwards for their behavior and all that, but you're grown adults. You shouldn't be doing this kind of shit. Zach then left because of pay. There was a lot of like the history of this show, and although a lot of the actors still see it in a positive light, at the time there was a lot of shitty practices uh, going on behind the scenes, especially with their pay. Like they were getting paid less than they would have working in McDonald's at the time. It was that kind of shittiness. That being said, we got Zach coming back, but we didn't get any other of the original. Obviously, the passing of Jason David Frank and
yeah, but I think that this was a cognitive choice not to bring him back because I feel like this would have been finished by the time Jason David Frank passed away because it's only been a couple months, right? Wasn't it in January?
yeah, I think so.
So I think filming would have been done by the time. I don't think he was passed by the time because I think that him, Amy Jo Johnson, the original Jason's like kind of got some kind of
Yeah,
he got in some
he's
kind of
he's
trouble.
embroiled. He's embroiled in some scandals of conning, some kind of scandal. So that's why they
Yeah,
didn't bring him back because he's a
but
bit
I
of a
feel like it
problem.
was an active decision not to bring Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank back on, which is crazy because Amy Jo Johnson, I could see her kind of like being like, "Hey, well, I want a ton of money, blah blah blah," and they would be like, "Yeah, we're not paying you that much." Jason David Frank, like he's done so many Power Ranger things outside of Power Ranger, like the actual like what
Yeah,
is this?
maybe they knew something was up with him, but didn't
Maybe
he? Did
he
he
like
commit suicide though? He
he
committed
committed
suicide.
suicide. Yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe at the time he must have been going through something. They knew and we didn't because there is no way. I mean, this would have sold even better had he been in it. You know.
I'll have to look at the production schedule. I don't. As I said, I really feel like
Yeah, I'm
that.
gonna have a look more into it as well because it was a shame not having them in there. It really would have done. I know one of them's in Boulder Scandal, but still would have been nice to bring them back. But in their place we got the second the second Pink and Red Ranger, who I actually really liked them anyway. Rocky was always fun kind of character in the show, so it was nice having him as a Red Ranger. And I forgot the other name of the lady. It's in my head, but
I don't remember. I just got done watching it and I don't remember her name. I here the full disclosure, like after the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I didn't watch when Zeo kind of hit, I kind of stopped watching. I know that she was in it, like in Power Rangers before they went
yeah,
to Zeo, but like I didn't commit her like she just wasn't as memorable as Kimberly and Tommy and Jason and like the originals.
yeah, I get you. But they left quite early on in the first series. Some of them,
Hmm.
they a lot of them were kind of gone. I watched it right up until I think um was it the film or just after the film kind of came out.
That was
So
a couple years. Like
yeah,
they weren't necessarily doing Turbo and Zeo and
I didn't watch any of those ones.
yeah, neither did
Uh,
I.
no, I didn't
I
watch
mean, I
any of those.
saw a
I
lot of
watched the
homages
original.
to them in the
Yeah.
Power Ranger collection tray, but
Yes.
I love how they
Yes.
grabbed just all the toys and they just started putting them up there.
That's it. So I thought that was kind of a clever way to skirt around the fact of not having those people in it. Is that with the Snake character, they kind of get captured and getting their life juices drained because that's what's going to help power Rita's machine to go back in time. And so that was a kind of clever way of getting around it. Um, I thought it was quite like all the aftermath of after the yellow Power Ranger died. I thought that was pretty quite good. Like Zach kind of takes under her wing and the troubles that she's kind of facing and the troubles that he's facing trying to keep her in control and train her and all this kind of stuff. And I thought that was really really well done. You get your kind of teenage angst moment. Obviously the mother's gone, but again it pays such great respects to the actress
Hmm.
that played the original Yellow Ranger.
And I
And
mean, they absolutely honor her in this whole. It's not like they just skirt her. They're like they kill her and she's gone. Like no, this like it is very apparent, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it is very apparent that this was also a love letter to the actress who played Trini.
yeah,
And then they kind of threw Jason David Frank in there at the end because obviously it happened. It's not like it was. This happened early in production. I'm
no.
telling you, this. I feel like
He
even
was
filming.
definitely still alive because otherwise they would have done something similar with Tommy because it didn't make sense. It just felt weird that
Yeah.
the guy that's been in more Power Rangers shows than any other Power Ranger um, to not be in this one. There was definitely something up with that. Um, yeah, but anyway, we get what we get, and we just go down this fun little ride. We get the old car back. Do you remember the old car? Kind of flies and does all the cheesy stuff. Billy's like techno god. We get Alpha. Alpha comes back as well, so we get
Not
to see
Well, Alpha 9. I think he was Alpha
Alpha
5 in
Nine.
the.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was Alpha 5 in the original. So now they're up to 9.
who's Alpha Alpha?
The Little Rascals dude
Oh
with
yeah,
the.
yeah,
Bling!
yeah. So it's Alpha Five. So it was up to Alpha Nine. Um, yeah, he's kind of back and still corny as hell, and
I
it's a good.
technically Alpha 8 is the villain of this because that's the body Rita Repulsa took
That's
over.
right. Yeah, she goes into him and turns into Rita
Transforms
Repulsa
him.
somehow.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad they didn't like go into detail on that, but it was kind of just like, wouldn't it have been great though to have the whole like episode like Alpha 5 like turns against the
Rita's
Rangers
voice.
and yeah,
Oh,
like Alpha 5 becomes this like horrific like Rita Repulsa like body possession thing. Oh, it'd have
that
been.
would have been absolutely brilliant. um, yeah. So a couple of the cameos. So another cameos that we got was the secondary Yellow and Black Ranger,
Mhm.
which was Adam and Kira. I think I can't remember her name, but yeah, she
Yeah,
wouldn't
they're
have
off
worked.
in space. They're the Space
Yeah,
Ranger.
they're the Space Rangers.
Now, were they actually on the Space Ranger show, or is that just kind of how they're putting them?
I don't know. I think they were. I think they were because I think they'd been in some other ones
Okay.
after the fact. But yeah, Yellow Ranger wouldn't have worked as a Power Ranger because she's gotten a bit on the chunkier sides. She looks fucking beautiful though. She barely aged a bit. She's just gotten wider. Which is fine. It is, but it still would have been kind of nice to see them kind of power up in some
I
kind of.
mean, the guy who plays the Red Ranger, I mean, he was pretty chunky. He was not as chunky, but he got pretty chunky too.
He looked
So
like he
it's
was
like,
wearing a girdle, mate. He definitely looked like he was wearing a girdle under that.
yeah. So I mean, and then
Under
when
that.
he transformed in the one fight, and like all of a sudden he's like super skinny Red Ranger, I'm like, ha, that's
Yeah,
Power Ranger power right there.
yeah, that's
He's
it.
like, what was it? I think back in the original Power Rangers, sometimes the Yellow Ranger was like was a dude.
It
So like
was a
you could
dude.
kind of,
Yeah,
yeah. So you could like
yeah.
see the junk
Well,
in
yeah,
the,
if you go to the beginning of this one, you can see it's a dude again.
really.
Yeah, you can see the junk.
Oh God.
Yeah, have a look. I'm pretty sure you can see the
Wait,
junk. I'll have to double
of
check it.
this movie, they,
Of this film. Yeah,
oh my God, what?
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
so so I'm assuming that's a homage to the original then.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. Yeah, yeah, and
That's insane.
yeah, we get like so the we get this nice little situation with the Minotaur. Is it the Minotaur guy? Whatever. Who cares? I don't
I
remember that
see. I
fucking
was I
name.
was kind of sad they did the Minotaur and they didn't do Goldor or Goldar, right?
Goldar. Goldar.
Yeah, they should have done Goldar and Snake Dude or whatever. I thought, but
Yeah, yeah, Goldar would have been nice to kind of have back, but I think they killed him off in one of the shows probably because after they destroyed Zordon, that big power thing just wiped them all out or morphed them into something, and that so Rita used the old clay models of the figures that thing he used to make these kind of
hmm and the
other ones.
conveyor, wasn't it the
Eh?
conveyor that goes through and then they transform
Yeah,
into
that's it.
the monster? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like the pizza conveyor. Like they make they make the clay model and they put it on there and put it through. Yeah.
yeah, that was the one. And yeah, so we get like obviously, they're collecting other Power Rangers, they're attacking everywhere and tracking them. One of them could track him down with his shield. So we get this little kind of thing going on, and then Yellow Ranger's daughters, obviously, she's like, I'm gonna do this too. And we get she tries to morph while she's fighting the clay people, and it doesn't work. And
The
she just
putties.
yeah, but she puts up a heck of a fight until the others arrive, and we
That
get
that that scene was actually, I really thought that was good. I'm like,
that was great.
it
It
was
was
like you could tell she was absolutely out of her depth, but she was putting 100% effort into it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She was doing everything she could, but well choreographed fight scenes, and
Mhm.
then kind of Zach and Billy come to the rescue, and we get a wonderful, wonderful
No,
moment that
Zach
I love.
and
Zach,
Rocky, right? The Red Ranger.
sorry, Zach and Rocky come in,
Yeah.
and we get like wonderful break dancing from Zach. He kind of does his little break dancing while he's kicking the Clay's asses. I thought that was
That's his trademark. You gotta
that's
love
his
it.
trademark, baby. That's the teenager with attitude. And yeah, they kick ass. They move on. I was a little bit sad that we didn't get Bulk and Skull
I was
in
just
this.
gonna bring them up. We did get a little cameo scene of their, like, what was it, like Bulk and Skull Burgers or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
or deli or something like that. But yeah, I was a little sad about that. I don't know if this show suffered from scheduling or if it suffered from finance. Like, like,
Well,
is
this
this?
is so. When we get to the end, that's what I'll talk about a few things about that. But yeah, I mean, fast forward and we get to the kind of end scenes where they're all on that moon base. Then we get a situation where they get into a fight, and Yellow Ranger, Blue Ranger's about to die, and Yellow Ranger yet again she jumps in front. She hasn't morphed yet, but she gets hit right on the power thing, which seems to power her thing up, and she then morphs, and we get like big fight scene and all of that, and Snake Blow gets chucked out into the
You
moon.
you know what scene this really reminded me of, and I don't know why, but you remember when in the Defenders show when like all of the Defenders are fighting like all of the Hand in that underground like mine or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know why, but this scene
Is that
reminded
what it
me of
reminded you? But this
like
was done way better.
well,
Yeah, this was done way better, man. It was brutal. It was. I mean, it was like we was getting stabbings. Like Rita gets
yeah.
fucking stabbed through. I know she's a robot, but still we get stabbings, and Bull Guy gets stabbed, and then we get to the giant fucking mech fight, which was like, yes, let's do this. And you know it's game over when that sword comes out, baby.
Oh yeah, when that sword's erect, man, it's game over.
It's game over. And I love this scene because it was like they didn't try to go up on these special effects. It's still a big guy in a suit and a CGI robot. And it was a cracking little fight. And they kill Snake Man, and
I thought it
that
was weird though that he did like this weird like the mech did like the weird the Megazord did a weird flip and then like stabbed him in the side and then he was done. Like normally they do the whole
yeah,
like energy sword and the
yeah.
slash and
I want to know where the lightning came from for the fucking sword, though. You know,
I
you
know,
think
right? I'm like, it came all the way, like the lightning came all the way from
right
Earth.
from Earth, yeah, traveled over. But yeah, it was just a simple stab and it was over. It was a bit too quick, uh, and that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So to summarize, Rita's back. She's trying to go into the past to talk to her past self, and the Power Rangers come together and stop her with a new kid along the way. And some of the oldies join the fights, and some of the originals are getting their life force sucked out of them, which is, you know, every man's dream, to be perfectly honest. And it was a good, fun nostalgia ride. However, so my gripes are one that Bulk and Skull weren't in it,
And the
which they were
actors are
huge.
still around, right? Like
The actors are very much still around.
yeah, because they
Uh,
weren't. I mean, they weren't older. Like I know they were a little bit older, but like they weren't like old. Like they were in their like late 20s, I think, when they were
Yeah,
filming
yeah, yeah,
or when they
yeah,
filmed the original. So
yeah,
they're probably in their 50s at this
yeah.
point.
They're still around. I mean, they've done loads of Power Ranger stuff as well, post the original series. I mean, they were in one of I think they were in the second film as well. That's the
I
one
don't
where
even think I saw the second film. I
I
know
think
I'm
that
losing
was the
my
one where
Power Ranger card here.
yeah, that was the one where like the Red Ranger destroys the the Red or Green Ranger destroys Zordon to kind of kill off everyone, all the bad guys, and all this kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, they were in that. So I was a little bit annoyed that we didn't get those characters, and although it was a nice kind of nostalgia run, it was very bare bones. Like, did you not get that feeling that it was very bare, like with no
I
Zed being there, with no of the original kind of bad guys lineup, like even the guy that made the clay monsters and all this
yeah.
kind of stuff. It was just Rita, two fucking bad dudes that we don't care about, and the clay cunts, and really just Billy and Zach for the most part.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like this is more of a interest point. Like I could see them doing it if this gets enough attention to Netflix, and Netflix has been waning a lot recently. So I mean, if this gets them like any kind of attention and they see the viewing numbers, they might do another one and they might put more money behind it. And obviously, unfortunately, we can't have Jason David Frank in that one, but maybe Kimberly will come back. Maybe the next one they will pay tribute to Jason David Frank. And I don't know if they should go the same route of killing the Green Ranger, but I don't know. I mean, maybe Netflix will start a brand new Power Ranger show based on the original stuff. They'll
Yeah,
bring a whole new like crew in of teenagers with attitudes and maybe have Billy or Zach or somebody there to kind of be the
they're kind of
mentor.
mentor, and they're
Yeah,
bringing with the new kids, like,
the
and
new
you
kids,
obviously
but they
bring
got
in
to they
the
got to
more,
go with the original looks. You can't over like if this movie has shown us anything, you can't overdo it.
no,
The original outfits that yes, they look like they're like spandex turtlenecks with helmets on, but like that's what they are.
and that's
Like
what made the show great. You know, that kind of, yeah, don't overproduce it.
yeah.
Bring it back. but keep it within the same vein. And that's a good point, actually. You did bring up a good point there because if this does well and the online buzz has been pretty damn good, hopefully Netflix do bring it back.
And make it episodic. Don't make it an over. I mean, you can have like an overarching narrative, like we're trying to find Zordon type thing, or we're trying to find Alpha Five's, dick or vibrator or whatever,
Yeah,
because he needs that. But like, obviously bring the actor, the Yellow Ranger back because you obviously established her here. Retire maybe, obviously like Tommy, Jason, have them
yeah,
officially retire. And as I said, I mean, you might be able to have a cameo. I would hate to say recast him like with somebody who kind of looks like him, but like you might have to do that just based on whatever's going on. I haven't looked into it, but I know something was going on with that Red Ranger, the original one.
yeah. The original one. Well, I mean, if it's just a fraud kind of thing, then you could bring him back because like fraud's fraud. It's not. You haven't like fucking murdered anyone or anything like that. So even if he just gets embroiled in that kind of scandal, still bring him back anyway. Because the
The
fans aren't going to care. They're not going to be like, "Oh my god, he's a criminal. Don't bring him back." You know.
Yeah, the fans don't really care about that.
But
You
yeah,
could get next time. You could get Kimberly, and to come back. And as I said, like if they do a show, just go all out in the first episode. Like as I said, I mean, bring all of the originals back, have them retire, you know, and
yeah,
and then
absolutely.
pass on to a new generation, and have the Yellow Ranger as the leader. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
change it
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Make
yeah, yeah.
like
Make her the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if
Change
you
it up.
want to
I would
change
actually
him,
love that because the one thing that annoyed me was always that the Red Ranger was always the leader. I think was Tommy ever the leader? I think he was at one
he
point.
was at one point. Yeah, he was.
But like I feel like the Yellow Ranger would be like it's off the beaten path, but like in today's society, nobody cares as long as you have a good character leading them. And I think this Yellow Ranger would actually probably make a decent leader. She seems like she's got the acumen for it.
Yeah, she's got her shit together. She's got the drive to kind of do it
Yep.
as the character, and she'd be a fantastic leader. So I don't see why not. And yeah, I'd love to see that. Absolutely
Now,
love to see it.
would you bring back? Would you do a Green Ranger or would you do something else? Like
Um,
I
if
know I know they had the Green Ranger
they
in this
if they oh fuck ow. If
because
they retire the
technically wasn't the last thing they had the White Ranger or the Gold Ranger or whatever it was,
well I know Tommy was the White Ranger,
and he was
but they,
also the Gold Ranger. I thought
oh, I can't remember. I
Tommy's been
get
like every freaking
yeah
Ranger. He was the Red Ranger in Zeo, wasn't he?
yeah he was yeah. Yeah, so he's been every ranger. I wouldn't bring back the White Ranger so much. I'd definitely uh, bring in a new Green Ranger for sure, as long as Tommy gets a nice send off
Hmm.
and that. Just bring in a new Green Ranger and yeah, and just have that. Or if not, just have the original five. But
Hmm.
I definitely want to see more. I like your idea, and I want to see more of that world because it's more for our generation. Just enjoy it. We get
I
to be
mean,
kids
maybe
again.
go beyond Angel Grove. Maybe like you don't have to go to New York City, but I mean, like maybe make it a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, you could change the setting and all of that, but you got to bring back Poke and Skull.
Yeah, they gotta own the place. They're gonna renovate the Angel Grove Youth Center and update it a little bit. As I said, I mean, I don't think it all should stay right out of the
Yeah,
'90s.
okay.
So Bulk and Skull kind of renovate it and make it, and don't go crazy. Like keep the same aesthetic and everything like that. Just maybe modernize it a little bit. You
That's it.
know, yeah,
Yeah,
Justin Bieber posters on the wall. Stuff like that.
that's it. All right. Well, on that note, Netflix, hire us. We know what we want and we know what we're talking about. And
Hmm.
do make more. I hope they make more. And thank you, Cheeto, for joining me.
No
And
problem.
that is all on this lovely trip down Nostalgiaville. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.